Hey Pokedad fan club, it's me Pokedad, and today I'm doing a new deck profile for you. I just recently had a league challenge, and we had a few people come that aren't normal players there. Came from Winston-Salem to our small city, and came and played in our league challenge. So I'm going to show you the deck I used in the league challenge. It got me second place. And then I'll also share with you another deck on another video from a new friend that I made friends with at the League Challenge. But we're going to talk about Giratina Seismitoad 2.0 is what I call it. A lot of good stuff from Breakpoint that can update this deck and make it even better. I'm not sure that this is a good play for states though, because the Jirachi promo is still out there. And it does hit this deck kind of hard. If you're going to go with a Seismitoad deck, I think maybe Seismitoad Crobat's a little bit better, because at least then you can use the bats to put counters on the Jirachi and knock it out that way. But anyway, this got me second place. I only lost to the first place guy. So anyway, let's take a look at it. Alright, so we're going to kind of, some of these you already know because I've already done this deck. Of course, Seismitoad, we only use Quaking Punch. We don't have any water energy, so we're just Quaking Punch. Ideally, he's who we want to start with, and we want to just Quaking Punch, Quaking Punch, Quaking Punch, and then deny energy, and then we heal ourselves through flips, super scoop ups, and AZ. So that's the idea here. So Seismitoad Quaking Punches, we actually use the Fighting Fury Belt, which is a new addition from Breakpoint. So Seismitoad now has a massive 220 HP, but he only hits for 40 instead of the 50, which that can be problematic. I did find at times where I would have liked to have a muscle ban in, just because that extra 10 damage over the course of 2 or 3 Quaking Punches can make a difference. But the extra 40 HP we get from the Fighting Fury Belt kind of offsets that extra damage we would get. So the only thing is we're only going to be hitting 40. So one of the ideas we want to do is we want to try to get Shaman, our opponent's Shamans, up in the active position, head ringer them, and then Quaking Punch them 3 times for a knockout. Anyway, we do play 2 Giratina. Giratina has the Chaos Will attack, and we only use double dragon and double colorless. So it's a 2 attachment for us to get Giratina going. So while Seismitoad's Quaking Punching away, Giratina can come in and kind of finish off a game for us. It also is very useful when we do play against Megas, since Renegade Pulse, they can't hurt, our Megas can't hurt him. So he can just keep Chaos Willing, and the Megas won't ever scratch him, so to say, unless they use Hex Maniac. Alright, so those are our main 2 attackers. We do have a couple support. Hoopa, we play one of these just to help us get the Seismitoads and the Giratina out, and to also grab into Shaman so that we get into some more drawing ability. This usually happens on turn 1. If most likely we usually have Hoopa by then, and we have our bench set up pretty much by turn 1. We play 2 Shaman for setup so that we can draw our hand back up to 6 cards. That's typical. A new addition though is we added 1 Slowking, a 1/1 line of Slowpoke and Slowking. Royal Flash is just really awesome. I mean, we're already denying energy anyway, and so this is just another way to take the energy and put it somewhere they don't want it. So, and in a way, it's even better than energy denial because they can't reuse, they can't like use energy retrievals or super rods to get their energy back, because Slowking just moves it to a Pokemon that's not very useful. An example of this is I use this to put energy on a electric energy onto a Manaphy EX, and that electric energy just stuck there the whole game. So this was very, very useful in helping me with that particular matchup. So this tech is a really good tech in this deck. All right, and then that's all of our Pokemon. We are going to now go into our items and supporters, and we run a massive amount of items and supporters. We run 4 crushing hammers. We want to just have as many opportunities as possible to knock energy off of them. So we're going to play 4 crushing hammers. We do play 1 enhanced hammer. That helps us with special energy. Of course, if they're only playing special energy like Night March or Vespiquen, we can use Chaos Will and pretty much win the game. So, but they might get one in play or 2 in play. So, we want to try to knock those off before we do the Chaos Will, and then pretty much they're stuck because they can't. If that's all they're playing is special energy, they can't even hurt us. So, that's another reason why we have Giratina, is for those kind of matchups. We do play 1 escape rope. This is specifically for the Jirachi promo. So if the Jirachi tries to hits us and knocks one of our energies off, we can escape rope it back to the bench, and then we can Lysander it up. And if we have a Giratina ready, we can Chaos Will it and knock it out. All right, we play 4 Puzzles of Time. Now this card is really, really good, and don't discount the first use either. Typically, we want to use it for the second use, which is we play 2 of them at one time, and then we're able to grab 2 cards out of our discard pile. That is just phenomenal. I mean, being able to grab whatever you want. If the energy gets knocked off in this deck, we can reuse it. We can reuse stadiums, so it literally can help us win the stadium war. We don't have to use a VS Seeker to grab a supporter if we don't want to. So we can grab something else, or we can grab 2 VS Seekers and then give us the flexibility to put whatever supporter later on we want. So Puzzle of Time is just really awesome. But don't discount the first use also. If you play 1 card, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them in any order. Have you ever been in that uncomfortable situation where you got a Shaman for 1 or 2? The Puzzle of Time can help you get the best card of those 3. Or maybe you'll see that none of those cards are all that good. And so that may allow you to use something like a Trainer's Mail, which would reset your whole hand, so you could shuffle up again and give you a chance to get a better card. So that first the first use of the Puzzle of Time is not a bad thing to do either. It even can be used just to know what you're going to draw for your next turn, giving you the best option for that. So sometimes we have to sycamore them away, or for whatever reason we have to get rid of it. And if we're going to get rid of it anyway, we might as well use it for that first purpose. So anyway, that's what I recommend. But typically, if we can save both of these to the end game, all 4 of them, we can literally get 4 cards out of our discard pile, and that could mean more crushing hammers or more scoop ups, cards that we have to rely on a flip for. Sorry about that. Cards we have to work on a flip for. All right, we do play 3 Ultra Balls. Again, I could play more. I could play a 4th one here, but because we had to make room for the Puzzle of Times, we had to cut a few things. So, but really, once we get Hoopa, the only other thing we need to get out is our Slowpoke and our Slowking. So, we really don't use the Ultra Balls as much as we'd like. And if we happen to need one, we can always Puzzle of Time one that we've already used. So that works out fine. I did kind of briefly mention this Super Scoop Up. This helps us. We can reuse Shaman, so it allows us to draw until we get the hand that we're looking for. Helps us set up even more. But in the middle to late game, Super Scoop Up helps us to heal Toad and Giratina and then reuse them. So I love Super Scoop Up. It's just really, really valuable. All right, we play 3 VS Seekers. I've gotten to a point where if I'm not running battle compressors in the deck, that I feel like it's better to use that 4th VS Seeker just to put another supporter in the deck. Because what you don't want to happen is have 3 VS Seekers and a Sycamore in your hand at the opening opening of the game, and you have to get rid of them all. So by using only 3 and adding an extra supporter, we're not as likely to run into the VS Seeker. And then also Puzzle of Time can act as a VS Seeker for us. So again, I'm not too worried about having a 4th VS Seeker. I'd rather have the extra supporter in this case. So now let's take a look at our supporters. We're running 1 AZ. This again is another way to heal. The idea here is we're going to Quaking Punch, Item Lock, destroy, Energy Disrupt, and then we're going to heal ourselves. And so AZ is one of the ways we can heal ourselves. This one is typically when they Lysander up Hoopa, we can AZ him instead of having to use an energy. But the one I like is I like to play 1 Cassius. In this deck it makes a lot of sense because if that Toad gets hurt really, really bad, we don't necessarily want to lose the Fighting Fury Belt and the energy. And most of the time we're going to have another one ready to go on the bench anyway. So Cassius allows us to take a hurt Toad, put it back in the deck with its energy and its Fighting Fury Belt, and allows us to recycle that so that we can get it back later. So I love Cassius so much better than AZ for those situations, as opposed to when someone tries to Lysander up a Shaman or a Hoopa, we can use AZ for those reasons. We do play 1 Delinquent. It's just really good because if we can get their hand down to a small size, we're going to have a stadium, or maybe they have a stadium. We can use Delinquent, force them to discard 3 energies and their stadium. So a 1 of Delinquent is good. Alright, we do play Hex Maniac, 1 of those. Aegislash really isn't a thing much, but there is really no way for us to get through Aegislash, so we may have to use Hex Maniac to do that. We also play 1 Judge. Again, this can be useful at the beginning game if we can get it off on turn 1, but also toward the end game when we might be close to decking out. We can judge ourselves back down to a modest number of cards and still keep a bunch of cards in our deck. So Lysander, I've mentioned Lysander multiple times. He wins you games. Lysander allows you to bring a Pokemon from your bench up to the active, one of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench up to the active, and then you can just start Quaking Punching it away. 1 Birch. I don't normally like Birch, but N is going to be reprinted soon, so we'll have N again. But 1 Birch, just because I like to have a lot of draw power in this deck because I want to be able to get set up very quickly. 4 Sycamore, discard your hand and draw 7. Pretty self-explanatory. 2 Team Flaregrant. Again, this is the energy denial. If you notice, we have supporters that help us heal, and we also have supporters that deny energy. Team Flaregrant is that supporter for us, so we are just trying to simply knock off their energy and then hit a Quaking Punch. So that's what we typically want to do. Alright, we also play 1 Xerosic. This is special energy, but also tool cards can be coming in handy because, like Spirit Links, we can Xerosic a Spirit Link off, and then we can Headringer that Mega. Or now with Fighting Fury Belt being so big, we can Xerosic the Fighting Fury Belt and then put a Headringer on. And we'll talk more about Headringer in just a minute. That is all of our supporters, so now let's look at our stadiums. Now, I actually got these backwards. I played 1 Faded Town, and I played 2 of Team Aqua's Secret Base. However, I don't have 2 of the Team Aqua Secret Base online, so I just kind of switched them for this purposes. But if we're running across a Mega deck, we can play the Faded Town, and then we can use Giratina, just keep that in play, and that will just keep damaging the Megas that are in play. So Giratina and Faded Town is a great little combo. But for most of the time, and that's why we play 2 of these, a Team Aqua Secret Base, most of the time we're not going to use this, not use the Faded Town. Maybe we might use it just to counter Stadium, but Team Aqua Secret Base is what we really want to try to do. We want to try to Headringer a Shaman, and then force them to have to play energy on it to try to retreat it, and then maybe hopefully we can knock the energy off, Quaking Punch it to death, And then with Team Aqua's secret base, they have to have a 2 retreat cost instead of 1, so they have to make 2 attachments. Unless, of course, they're playing special energy, but then they have to waste the special energy. So we're okay with that. But Team Aqua's secret base can be very, very useful. Also, that's why we run Scoops and AZ, because if the Team Aqua's secret base is out, we can't retreat naturally anyway. So we want to be able to use that. And I don't know what happened there. All right, let's keep moving on. So anyway, tool cards, we play 3 Fighting Fury Belts. Adds 10 more damage to our attack and 40 HP to our Pokemon. We talked about that. 2 Head Ringers to make our opponent's EXs have to use another energy to attack, which then we can just knock off with Team Flare Gun or Hammers. And then as far as our energy count goes, we play 3 Double Dragon and 4 DCE. So anyway, this guys is Seismitoad Giratina 2.0. Hope you enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up. Put your comments below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Anyway, guys, this is PokeDad signing off. We'll do a couple battle videos showing this off in another video, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.